right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the TnT podcast. I'm your host Tim.
And I'm Ted.
All right, for this one, there's gonna be no jokes, no nothing. It's gonna be a very serious conversation. As you could tell by the title of this episode, we are gonna be talking about and giving our opinions on the situation about the protests and riots and looting that's been going on um, as a result of the death of George Floyd. So, before we get into it, we just want to say we are two white guys from a small town in New Jersey. So, it might not be our place to talk about it, but we just wanted to get our opinions out there. Um, just because it is such a huge issue right now, we just felt like we had to get our opinions out there. Anything you want to say on that, Ted, before we get started?
Yeah. Basically, to go off that, like you said, we're two white guys from a small town, and we just want, like you said, we just want to get our opinions out and just to shed light on this whole situation, and such a um just
Huge. Yep,
heartbreaking situation.
agreed. Um, So for anybody that doesn't know, which I would find hard to believe by now, but what happened was this was in Minneapolis. Minneapolis, man, George Floyd. What did he do again? He was accused of using like a counterfeit money, right?
So
Or
I
counterfeit
think
check,
so.
something like that.
I think so.
Um, and he was being arrested, and he was thrown onto the ground, and a police officer knelt down on his neck to the point where he could not breathe at all and ultimately passed away due to that. So effectively, the cop killed him
Yeah,
for basically nothing.
yeah,
um, it's just ridiculous how no matter what you are, what your rank is, whether you're government, whatever, people think they can get away with anything.
yeah,
The way this cop just did that while he was saying he can't breathe, did not resist arrest at all, didn't had no weapons on him, nothing.
no.
Guy was completely listening to their orders, nothing, and this guy does this.
Yeah, they said he air quotes resisted arrest, but a
You
restaurant cam proves that he did not.
no, he did nothing,
Yeah.
and so the cop that was seen, all of them actually there were fired, and the one that was seen kneeling on his neck was charged with third degree murder and manslaughter.
Which the manslaughter is second degree.
Second degree, okay.
Mm.
So yeah, let's unpack everything now, I guess. That cop, all those cops, are pieces of shit, and they deserve
Yep.
way worse than what's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
They all deserve to be charged, not only the one. Thankfully, they were all fired. They all deserve to be charged at the
Yeah.
at like, and so that's what started this all. Um, then now all over the country, there's been protests, riots, looting. Um, so me and Ted have already talked about this a good amount, but we 100% agree with the protests and we stand with all of them. 100%.
Of course. You got to get the
100%.
word
No,
out
no questions asked. We stand with everyone
there.
in this issue. There is no justification for what these police officers did. No justification.
No, there's no excuse for what they did. They're just, they're just terrible, human beings to do something like that,
to another
and
human being.
to put your knee into the man's neck for 9 minutes.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, what's
And
wrong with you? And this guy has had complaints on him before, and
and
have
nothing's
come
happened.
out too. Yeah, and they have not done anything. And people are sick of that. And people just don't like
Cops
when
like
they're
that should not be in the position that they are in.
no, they take advantage of the badge. And if people take advantage of the badge, they should not be cops
Nope.
or even government officials. That needs to be cracked down on. Like if you take advantage of your power in such a high regard, like like a cop or a government official or something like that, you got to be canned. There's no excuse for that. There should be a one strike policy.
Yep.
You cannot get away with. I think Chavin, Derek Chavin, I think that's how you say his last name. Had like I don't know if I'm correct about this, but there was like 12 counts of him doing all that, like stuff that he did, not like obviously murdering you know beforehand, but actually maybe he did. I gotta see on that, but just was these complaints, like a dozen complaints on him. Like I said, just all about that and did nothing for it.
Yep. It's like me being a manager. Obviously, it's a much smaller scale than being a police officer or elected official. It's like me. Oh, I'm in power. Let me just fire everybody. Let me write up everybody just because I can,
Yeah,
or let me kick people out of my store just because I can.
or steal something because I can.
Yep. Oh, I'm a manager. I can do that.
Yeah,
Like no.
no,
um, so like we said, we completely stand with everybody protesting. Going through, because we've seen videos of people peacefully sitting. I showed you. Excuse me. I showed you this one video of the people just sitting there doing nothing, nothing wrong, and the cops just start pepper spraying them.
yeah,
They're literally sitting there, not charging at them, not yelling anything at them. They are sitting there,
yeah.
arms
They just do.
linked, and the
Yeah,
cops just start pepper spraying them.
yeah. They're just doing their own thing. And I saw this little girl get pepper sprayed. It was just terrible. Like, what
Yep.
did the
Even
little
these
girl do?
cops they're even attacking the media. Like
Yeah,
there's
look
the
at
one, was
CNN
it?
reporter
Yeah, it was CNN.
Jimenez, Omar Jimenez, I think his name is.
Yeah, he got arrested on live TV.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I
For I
saw
don't know.
another. I forget where it was. It might have been Texas. That there was just a reporter and a cameraman just literally on live TV again, and the cop just starts shooting him with like rubber bullets. I think they were
Mhm.
shooting her. Shoots one, gets right on the camera. It's for these protests to be about police brutality, and then you see all these police doing all
Doing it.
this.
Yeah, and it's the and the thing is they're doing it to not just like, and if you're seeing it now too, and they're not just doing it to black people. They're doing it to everybody. If you think about it, if you look at all these people like just doing their thing, protesting, they're doing it to everybody. They're not just doing it just to one particular person. They're doing it to everybody.
Yep, it's crazy.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
they're
We're from
just.
New Jersey. There's been
We've had some protests. I know one was successfully peaceful in
there's
Newark.
Newark, Camden, and I think
Atlantic City,
Atlantic
Atlantic City,
City.
there was one, but that kind of got out of control from what I saw. But Camden, the police officers marched with them. Um,
I saw that. Might have been Atlanta. I'm not 100% sure on that, but yeah, the chief of police was marching with them and holding the banner.
yeah, and I was in Camden too.
Yeah,
And Newark, the mayor Raz Baraka was marching with the protesters as well. So it's people like that it's. I want to send a message to all the listeners just to say not all cops are bad. I know a few cops in our town, and I've gone to school with a few of them, and they're not bad, and I've known them for quite a long time. And it's to see that, you know, I picturing them in all gear like that and getting screamed at. It sucks for them because they're just trying to do their job.
Yeah, it boils down to not everybody is bad.
No,
Just
not
because
everyone is
this
bad.
one horrible thing happened doesn't mean all police officers are bad. Doesn't mean
No,
all protesters are bad
no.
or want to cause damage or want to start a riot.
Yeah,
So that
I've
brings
seen
us
some
to the
the
riots that are going
riots.
on.
Yeah,
Riots, looting. Because it's one thing for a protest, which like I said, we both completely stand with. But once it turns into a riot and looting,
that's what we crossed the line.
that's when it strays from being a protest. Then it's people taking advantage of this situation and causing damage to people's businesses, burning down people's businesses. Then obviously that brings looting.
Yeah,
I've seen so many videos of Targets, Walmarts, smoke in there, crap everywhere, and I'm like, what does this, I can't think of the word.
prove. What does it prove
What does it
about? Like,
prove?
this doesn't prove anything. It literally proves that
It makes the whole
you don't.
situation worse.
Yeah, they don't understand that there's a difference between doing that and a protest. That's not protesting. Some
Protesting
people
is
think that
calling for
is.
change, is, showing solidarity,
Yeah,
but riots, I can't wrap my head around it. It's literally just people taking advantage of the situation.
yeah, and they loot these stores, for what reason? Just
Personal
to
gain.
what? Personal gain. And you take advantage of a poor guy's death, and you do that for your own good. What does that prove? That doesn't prove anything. That proves that you're an ignorant mofo. But like we said before, we just do not agree with that, and many people don't. Many people don't either.
Even the family came out and said, like, this isn't what he would want.
No, and this is and damn sure this is not what Martin Luther King would want either.
Nope.
That man was always about peaceful protests. He never let any protest he did go violent. He preached peace. That's all he wanted, and that's what he preached. I mean, the "I have a dream" speech goes with that.
Yep.
He's the one that led that stuff, but you never saw him get violent. You never saw him do that. He was always cooperative. He was always, peaceful with everything he did.
Yeah,
You
Martin
know,
Luther, he got arrested quite a few times, right?
I'm pretty sure yes, pretty sure. But think about this, like, after he died in 1968, the riots after that sparked, you know, all over the country, like in Baltimore, New York, and all these other places. And now the history is repeating itself now. Like the riots from LA in '92 to Baltimore in 2015 to Ferguson, Missouri, and all that. You know, the history is just repeating itself, and people are just taking advantage of such a bad situation and just trying to. They're just greedy. They're just being greedy, and that's all it is. Saying, "Oh, it's we're doing this for Black Lives Matter," blah 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 blah. That's not for Black Lives Matter. That's for you. That's for just for you. That's not for you know every black citizen in America. That's just for you. Because you're being greedy for yourself. You're not helping others for change. You're helping yourself. You're caring about yourself.
Yep. You're
You're not caring about
destroying.
the people's around you, and you're destroying people's businesses. And it's already bad enough as it is because we're in a freaking pandemic, crying out loud,
Yeah, the pandemic economy is already in a toilet.
in a toilet. So what? Yeah, burning down stuff, and now people are jobless. Now they can't feed their families.
Yep.
I saw this one video resurface of this one guy from 1992 from the LA riots, and his business got burnt down. They burnt down his truck and everything, and he's like, I came from the ghetto too. I was just like you guys, trying to find my way out, and this is what you guys do to me. You know, it's stuff like that people gotta listen to, but they're just too selfish to.
Yep. This it, this whole situation, it's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that's the one word to
One
describe
word
it.
to describe it.
Yeah,
But I don't know. I don't know how we're gonna see this, situation unfold more. This is still what it's been. It's like 5 days or so, I believe so.
almost. Yeah, it's about almost a week, I think,
Maybe, yeah.
since this.
Um, I don't know. You know, like we said, the protests we stand with and wish we could
As
be at.
Yeah, as you rightfully should protest. Like that is
Absolutely.
absolutely like if you protest already, you're standing up for change and you're doing everything you can to,
Say, like me
there.
personally, I'll give a story. After the Parkland school shooting, they got together and organized the March for Our Lives campaign, and I went to that protest in New York City. Was it March 24th, 2018? I went there and I marched. I marched. It was how many people? I think it was close to 200,000 people, something like that. That went to New York. So obviously DC is a little ways away. I couldn't go to that one, but yeah, I went there and I protested and marched for that issue.
Yeah,
You
you know,
know, and we thankfully there was nothing violent that happened, but I encountered it. I saw it. Counter protesters, protesting us. And thankfully, again, it didn't get violent or anything like that. Nothing like we're seeing with these protests. But there's a way to do it and a way not to do it.
yeah,
The
and the
way
people
to
that
do it
do,
is protesting, getting together, like like a lot of them are. A lot of them are completely peaceful protests. People just rightfully upset, and then you get to these other ones that turn violent, turn into riots. There's citizens throwing stuff at police, attacking them, destroying their cars, burning buildings, looting. Then there's also cops, like we were saying before, that are also taking advantage of the situation and making it worse by pepper spraying innocent people,
yeah,
shooting
but
the
the true,
media
yeah,
with rubber bullets,
yeah,
arresting the media. I don't want to make this a political episode either, but even President Trump tweeted something almost instigating more violence.
yeah, and he's will not will not touch that
We're not going to
touch
touch it too much.
touch too much.
Just gonna gently touch the surface of that because that's a
Yeah,
whole. If we
whole
wanted to
another.
do a political one, we could, but
We could, but
that's
we'll
not the
hold
main
off on
focus
that.
of this
Yeah,
episode.
no, no. But you know, violence is just not the answer. Violence makes everything worse. It just does. And I was going to add on to what you said. The true colors of people show out in these situations. They really do. They really do.
Yep.
People's greediness, people's hunger, people's, you know, beliefs. You know, they all come out in this situation, and you see it. You see all these cops. Some of these cops joining together and walking with these people, and you see, excuse my language, the dickhead cops who, you know, push these innocent people out of the way, pepper spray these little, this little girl, or
Yeah, but I did see one. Sorry to interrupt you, but it was fit into what you were saying. The one I forget where it was, but the one cop got separated from all the others, so then he's surrounded by
Kentucky,
protesters.
Louisville, Kentucky, I believe.
Okay, yeah, he got surrounded by protesters, and a bunch of them banded together to protect the guy.
Yeah,
Which shows there is there is good on both sides.
yeah,
It's not, oh, these protesters are horrible, or it's, oh, all these cops are horrible. No, it's some of the protesters take it too far and start
yeah,
riots, looting, everything, and then there's the cops that make it worse as well.
yeah. And that guy probably was scared shitless. It was just him by himself. We
Mm-hmm.
didn't know what to expect. He must. He probably talked to this guy and say, "Listen, man, I'm just here by myself. I'm just trying to do what I can." Like if I
Yep.
was him, that's what I would say. And I'm just trying to do what I can, man. Like I'd walk with you guys, but I don't want to. I'm just trying to do my job.
Yep.
But it's
That's the
just
thing. I wish I could
uh,
walk. I wish I could walk, and I wish I could protest as well, because this is a problem in this country that
and it's been a
needs to
problem for
be
a very long time.
properly addressed.
Mm-hmm. Damn straight.
Because they're, just like we said in the beginning, this cop had prior,
Prior incidents
yeah, and
before this.
obviously nothing was done.
Yeah.
Police officers need to be held at a higher standard,
Yeah.
and if they do something, it needs to be addressed, whether
Yeah.
it's okay they're not allowed on the road anymore. I don't know. I don't know any policies that might be in effect. I don't know any of that. So
Right.
this is just me speaking. Um, if it's serious enough, then every single one should be properly investigated, not just shoved under the rug
I agree.
because they're buddy buddy with their police chief. You know, just something needs to change in this country, and I truly hope that these protests are successful in provoking change.
Yes. And that goes on with that. Um, a lot of the protests are also, it's like a double thing going on. Of course, just with Black Lives Matter, but also how corrupt the judiciary system really is. I mean, doing all of that to protesting both things. It just sucks. It's just them trying to get away with something and try to be, like you said, be buddy buddy, and not get the same treatment as a civilian would. Normal person
A
that's
normal
no,
person that would commit a crime and, you know, jailed, whatever it may be. Whereas if a cop does something, then it's, oh, he's a cop. He should be
yeah,
relaxed charges, or he should be let go.
yeah.
We
That's just
this
not it, man.
I think we should end this here. It's going to be shorter episode than usual, but we just wanted to share our thoughts. We don't want to bring it on too long, drag it out, just to make the episode longer. We just wanted to keep it real. Mention our opinions on the subject because
It's a very, very touchy subject.
yeah, we just wanted to, like I said, give our opinions on it and hop on here and say we completely stand with what everybody is doing out there protesting. We stand with the Black Lives Matter movement, and we really do hope that change does come out of this. So with that said, Ted, do you have anything else you wanted to add?
You hit it right on the coffin, brother. I think you just summed up what my thoughts were as well. We just
All right.
stand with Black Lives Matter movement, and we stand with those peaceful protests that people are doing, and just trying to get their message out, and just trying to make change happen.
Agreed. And hopefully change does happen.
Yeah.
Alrighty. With that said, everybody, thank you so much for listening. And if you do plan on going out and protests, please be safe. And I wish all of you guys well. We'll catch you next time.
Peace, guys.